What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another My Damn Toys video. Today we're going to be talking about WWE Superstar Shake-Up 2018. So as you guys already know, on Monday and Tuesday night, we will be going through the Superstar Shake-Up 2018, and I'm excited for this. You know, this is the time of the year where some Raw guys go over to SmackDown and some SmackDown guys go over to Raw, and it's a very great time. I know last year I wasn't very happy with it. It was just very anticlimactic. It was like, you know, The Miz just showed up out of nowhere. Dean Ambrose just popped up out of nowhere. And I hope this year it's not that way. I hope that we have, you know, Kurt Angle and Paige, both general managers, backstage or on the stage, you know, going through trades, making deals, and all of that good jazz. I hope it's not just, you know, The Miz shows up on SmackDown, or, you know, Randy Orton just shows up on Monday Night Raw. I hope it doesn't go that way. I just don't think that would be a good look. I hope that there's some trades made and there's actually some thought behind it and it's actually some segments backstage and stuff, and I just hope that they don't do it the way they did last year. If I had it my way, I would just do a full draft. I would literally reset both rosters and start like we did in 2016 with a full draft, drafting guys back and forth, and that would reset, you know, both universes, that would reset feuds, that would do all of that. I think that would be the best way to do it. But, you know, it's probably going to be like last year. Guys are just going to show up, but we can only hope. So what I'm going to do is take you through both rosters, who I would move from Raw to SmackDown and SmackDown to Raw, which trades I would conduct, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if I'll go through the specific trades, you know, this guy for this guy, but who I would like to see switch places. And we're going to go all the way through it until we get it completed. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So let's start things off with the women, guys. The first woman that I would bring from SmackDown Live over to Monday Night Raw is Naomi. I think that she's done everything she can do over on SmackDown Live. She's been the champion twice, I believe, and I think that it would give her a much-needed breath of fresh air to go over to Monday Night Raw, get her some new feuds, and bring the glow over to Monday nights. Speaking of breaths of fresh air, Sasha Banks really does need one. I'm sick of seeing her with feuds on Monday Night Raw. I think that she deserves championship gold, and I think the best way to do that would be to send her over to SmackDown Live, get into a fresh competition with some new talent that we have not seen her match up with, and that would be to move Sasha over to SmackDown Live where she could be used very well. Next up, we have one of my favorite women talents in the entire WWE, if not my number one. Becky Lynch deserves some more credit, guys. She needs to get a breath of fresh air as well. Much like Sasha Banks and Naomi, I think moving over to Monday Night Raw, getting her over on the red brand, maybe dye her hair with some more reddish color instead of the orange, get her some red in there, change up her style a little bit, and get her some momentum back. Move her over to Monday Night Raw and get her away from the blue brand. This one seems pretty obvious in that it's going to happen, is that Asuka is going to move over to SmackDown Live. It makes the most sense. You know, she just came up empty against Charlotte. I think she'll move over there most definitely after her loss. Her terrible, stupid booking decision loss to Charlotte at WrestleMania 34. The next woman I would move over to Monday Night Raw is Ruby Riott. I think that she needs to break off from the Riott Squad. I'm actually very sick of Absolution and Riott Squad. They have no direction at all. Get Ruby Riott on a brand by herself, let her do some singles stuff, and get her some momentum over on the red brand. And the final move of the women's division is Alexa Bliss going over to SmackDown Live. I know she made the jump to SmackDown Live in the draft in 2016. Then she moved over to Raw in 2017 with the Superstar Shake-Up. I think in 2018 it would be best for her and her character to go back over to SmackDown Live, get away from Mickie James, get away from Nia Jax, let her build up some more build up her credibility after losing it after this awful title reign she just had. And I think she could do that with a move over to SmackDown Live. Getting into some moves for the tag team division, I think that the New Day have absolutely, without a doubt, done everything they need to do over on SmackDown Live. These guys need some new feuds. I would actually like to see this move break up New Day, even if they just moved one of these guys over to Monday Night Raw or two of these guys to Monday Night Raw, leaving one behind on SmackDown Live. I just think that New Day has run its course. I think that they have done everything there is to do as a tag team unit, and I would love to see them either break up or move together over to Monday Night Raw and get away from the blue brand, get away from the Usos, and build some much-needed fresh feuds. I think this one is pretty much a given, guys. Ever since the club has made it to WWE, since they broke off from AJ Styles, they really have had zero direction at all. I think this is something that must happen for the club to get some momentum back. They need to move over from Monday Night Raw, get away from that 3-hour garbage, go over to the 2-hour show, let them run havoc on the SmackDown Live Tag Team division. I think that they could be a great matchup for the Bludgeon Brothers. They could definitely add some life to the tag team division, and it is just, I don't know what it is, but seeing these guys and another tag team we're going to get to in just a few minutes, it is just exhausting to see these two teams on Monday Night Raw. I need these guys to get away far, far away from Monday Night Raw and establish themselves as a dominant, credible tag team. The next tag team we have right here, guys, is Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. I call them the Benjables. I think that, in my case, I think they're going to make the move. You know, they haven't really done anything on SmackDown Live. I think that it would be something that would actually get them on television, would be to move them over to Monday Night Raw. Maybe have them, if it were my way, I'd split them both up. I'd have Shelton Benjamin go over to Monday Night Raw and feud in the Intercontinental Championship division and have Chad Gable on SmackDown in the singles division. I think that would do wonders for both of them. They really don't do anything as a tag team, but I think I had to throw these guys in there for the next tag team that I'm going to show you that is going over to SmackDown Live. I believe everybody knew it was coming, guys. The Revival have to go over to SmackDown Live. Just like the club, they're in the same boat. Both teams have zero momentum. Both teams have zero credibility. They have just been buried. They've had so many losses in 2017 and 2018 that they just need to get over to the Blue Brand and just revitalize their tag team credibility and their momentum. This is the reason that I had the Benjables go over to Monday Night Raw. Since I pulled 2 tag teams from SmackDown, I had to fill in 2 tag teams from Monday Night Raw, so I think this would be the best way to do it, and I think that it will definitely help out both brands making these tag team division moves. So finally getting into singles competition, guys, I think that Trash Corbin has been off television for a while now. He hasn't really done anything meaningful in quite a while. You know, we saw him in the 6-pack challenge at Fastlane. Lost there. He's been on a losing streak. I think that Vince McMahon and WWE like Baron Corbin, even though I am not a fan of his character at all. Great guy overall, but I just cannot stand his character. I think they're going to move him over to Monday nights and give him a breath of fresh air as well on the Raw brand. Moving over to SmackDown Live would be the one and only Elias. You know, we saw him interact with Bobby Lashley on Monday Night Raw. I think this was a sign that he was going to go over to SmackDown Live in this shakeup. You know, I don't think they're going to have Bobby Lashley come out, return to WWE and take on a fresh and on-fire talent like Elias. That wouldn't be good for his character. That would be terrible booking. I wouldn't put it past WWE, but I think moving him over to SmackDown Live would be the smart decision. I think that they just used Elias on Monday Night Raw to return Bobby Lashley, get a cheap pop, and now I think he'll move over to SmackDown Live where I think his character will definitely thrive on a 2-hour show. It's Rusev Day! Yes, guys, Rusev is going to head over to Monday Night Raw in the Superstar Shake-Up. I think this would be fantastic. You know, the most over guy in WWE being on Monday Night Raw will definitely help him. I don't think that... I think he would fit better on SmackDown, but since he has gone nowhere, and since there's just, you know, some new talent coming over there, I think the best thing for him to do would be go over to Raw and, you know, either compete in the tag team division with Rusev Day and Aiden English, or, you know, get into the mid-card with either Seth Rollins or somebody. I think that would be a very interesting feud, and I hope they turn this man babyface as soon as possible. This next one is a total upset, guys. You know, I know he's with the Bar over on Monday Night Raw and Sheamus, but I think this would play into storyline very, very well. You know, you have Cesaro move over to SmackDown Live in the Superstar Shake-Up. That would mean that, you know, the Bar is now no more. This would cause tension at the Greatest Royal Rumble where they will fight for the Tag Team Championships against the Woken Warriors and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. That would lead to the Woken Warriors winning the Tag Team Championships, the Bar breaking up, having Cesaro go over to SmackDown Live and have a great singles run like we all think he should have. I would love to see that, and it would do wonders for Cesaro to be by himself on a 2-hour SmackDown Live show. Next up, we have the Glorious One making his way over to Monday Night Raw. How I would have this play out, you know, guys, he's already had his loss at Fastlane for the United States Championship. He lost in the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania, and I just think that this man needs to go over to Monday Night, turn heel, and feud with Seth Rollins over the Intercontinental Championship. Do wonders for his career. It would do wonders for his momentum. I think that he, ever since being called up to the main roster, he's been so stale. Bobby Roode needs to turn heel and be on Monday nights where he will thrive. The charismatic Enigma is going to head over to SmackDown Live, guys. You know, I don't think that they want him to be on the same brand as his brother, Matt Hardy, and the Woken Warriors. I think that they want to give him a singles run, so the best way to do that will be to move him over to the blue brand, let him have a singles run, and just get us back to some vintage Jeff Hardy, change his Titantron, get him on his own, and I think it would be fantastic and absolutely beautiful to see Jeff Hardy as a singles competitor. With him, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor all on Monday Night Raw as baby faces, all in the IC title picture. It just doesn't make very much sense right now. So moving it over to SmackDown Live would be absolutely the best move. Next up, we have sort of a 2-in-1 package deal right here. There's two ways this thing could go. Either both these guys are going to end up on Monday Night Raw, or only Kevin Owens is going to end up on Monday Night Raw, and I have some other plans for Sami Zayn that I'll get into in just a few minutes. But I think that Kevin Owens is definitely going to make it onto Monday Night Raw. I think that Kevin Owens is going to end up on Monday Night Raw. I think that it would be the best move. Or you could just have both of these guys keep competing on Monday Night Raw. You keep having them fight and fight and fight, and finally Kurt Angle's just like, screw it, I'll just take both of you guys. I think that would do some good job. I think they're going to be on singles runs. I would personally have them on two separate brands just because I think they've been together long enough. You know, we had them apart for a while, then we've got them back together for a while, so I think the best thing to do would be to split them up, get them some freshness, and let them go on their own. Here are my separate plans for Sami Zayn. If he cannot make it on Monday Night Raw's roster and Kevin Owens does end up getting that last spot, why not give him his old gimmick? You know, let him put the mask on, go over to SmackDown Live, pretend to be El Generico. You know, nobody can figure out who he is. You know, nobody knows it's Sami Zayn, and have it booked into a storyline. I think that would be very entertaining, very cool to see. I doubt they do this. I don't believe WWE to be creative enough or cool enough to do this, but I think it would do fantastic for Sami Zayn and the entire, you know, look of this whole El Generico thing. You could start selling the mask. He would do great on, you know, merch. I think everybody would buy the Olay shirts, especially, you know, the true wrestling marks who have followed him so far from Ring of Honor and everything. So that would be how I would book El Generico in the Sami Zayn situation. This one right here, guys, has to happen. Randy Orton has to go over to Monday Night Raw. How I envision this is have him go over to Monday Night Raw. He can still show up on SmackDown Live these next few weeks, you know, leading up to his match at Backlash with Jinder Mahal. Since every pay-per-view is dual-branded now, I think that it works out that way, and I think that it will help because, you know, you can have this Superstar Shake-Up tie into Backlash since everybody's going to be there, and it's going to be Raw and SmackDown. But I think he loses to Jinder Mahal again for like the 80th time. I know, shaking my effing head. But have Randy Orton lose, go over to Monday Night Raw, turn heel, and have him as a main event / Intercontinental Championship competitor. It would do wonders for him. It would make him just look so much better. This face run has lasted long overdue now, and it's just lasted way too freaking long. Let's turn Randy Orton heel, have him on Monday nights, and go to war. Another man that would benefit greatly from SmackDown Live is the one and only Finn Balor. Bring the Demon King over to the blue side, guys. You know, he can rejoin with the club. He can turn heel on SmackDown Live, be the top heel on SmackDown Live with Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, have some cool feuds with AJ Styles. We saw a flash of that at TLC. And I would love to see Finn Balor with the WWE Championship around his waist. I think that SmackDown Live just benefits him so much more. You know, just like it did AJ Styles. It's just a great way for indie type guys to get over and to be, you know, thriving would be to go over there, get away from Seth Rollins, get away from Roman Reigns, get away from Brock Lesnar. Let this man go over and thrive on the blue brand. I think the reason that we got the AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan match on SmackDown Live is because Daniel Bryan will be going over to Monday Night Raw. I don't like it. You know, he's getting away from the Shinsuke AJ feud, but I think that this is the way that WWE is going to go. You know, this isn't the way that I would have it. I just don't want to see Daniel Bryan go over to Monday Night Raw where you have Roman Reigns and everything, but maybe they can get into a cool feud. Maybe Roman Reigns turns heel and you have, you know, the WWE product of Roman Reigns, who they want to push versus who the fans want in Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. That would just be a fantasy book decision right there. And it's going to suck seeing him on the same brand as Bobby Lashley and stuff, but I just think that this is the way that WWE is going to go following that fantasy match we got on SmackDown Live. And the big guy right here, guys, Braun Strowman moving over to SmackDown Live. I don't think this is going to happen, but I can definitely see it going down this way. You know, we saw him and Nicholas. Awful AF booking right there. We saw him and Nicholas relinquish the Raw Tag Team Championships. This could definitely be a sign that he is headed over to SmackDown Live. Why not, you know, defend him by himself or something, or book it into an angle instead of having him relinquish the titles? But I think this is a sign that he could be headed over to SmackDown Live. While I don't like this because we're having Finn Balor and, you know, Jeff Hardy, Cesaro, Elias coming over to SmackDown Live, I still think that this is a possible decision that could happen. It's not my highest thing that I think is going to happen, but I'm just throwing this in there that could potentially be on Tuesday night. In this last little segment right here, guys, I want to talk about some guys that I could potentially see during this Superstar Shake-Up. I think that Dean Ambrose could possibly return to SmackDown Live in the Shake-Up. I could see Big Cass going to SmackDown Live, and I could possibly see Neville coming to SmackDown Live. I don't think that all three would happen in the same night. I just don't think that's realistic. But Big Cass, you know, going over to SmackDown Live would get him away from the big names such as Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Bobby Lashley on Raw. And I think it would do better for him as a singles competitor to get away from Raw and how we remember him with Enzo. Dean Ambrose, you know, he's returning from injury very soon, and I just don't see him going to Raw with the Shield again. I think they're going to get away from that. And then with Neville, I just want to see Neville back in WWE so bad. I wanted to put him in my favorite current wrestlers, but I couldn't because he's not on the current roster. You know, he hasn't been shown anywhere. No news has been on Neville, so why not return him in this shake-up and make some effing noise? We could also see some NXT call-ups such as Sanity, Cien Almas, or Drew McIntyre, but only time will tell. I hope you guys did enjoy my predictions here. Leave yours down below. What do you think is going to happen on Monday and Tuesday night for the Superstar Shake-Up? Let me know down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed these predictions or you enjoyed the figures that you saw here today. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MyDamnToys. Subscribe for more epic WWE and WWE figure-related videos. Turn on that bell for all notifications so you never miss an upload, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.